guys, my name's Anne from Games Re-Up, and today we're going to be debating the big debate. And do you know what that is? It's going to be physical copies versus digital copies. Okay, so let's have a few pros and cons for both sides. So let's start with physical. Now, personally I prefer physical. Why do I prefer physical? Now, I've got quite a big games collection, so personally that's the first thing. I really like the box art. I think that really adds to the it. Love the box art. I just like the graphics. I like to be able to see a nice image, a nice illustration. So basically, if I go into a pre-played game shop, I come in and I'm like just having a little browse, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy that one. It looks really quite fun. It's a con straight away for the physical copy. The discs can scratch. Okay, you can get these fixed in a lot of stores, and a lot of places actually do offer this, but your discs can get scratched, so that will be more cost. Now over time obviously discs can deteriorate, but maybe that's going to be thousands of years. So if you're not too worried about, well, living for thousands of years and having your games collection still, then you don't need to worry about that. And for digital copies, now the first thing is, it just, to me, I think it's a mentality thing. It feels like you really don't have the game. Okay, you've just downloaded it onto your hard drive, for if you're using Steam or if you're PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, but it just feels like it's not there, even though it is, if you see what I mean. Like I said, it's a mentality thing. You don't have that game there, and it feels like you've spent generally the same amount of money it would cost to buy the physical copy to buy the digital copy, and you've really got nothing there. With the physical copy, you can hold it, you can give it to a mate, you know, you can share the joy, you can share the fun. It just seems like you don't really own it. That's my problem with that. Now obviously it's the same with iTunes, for example. You don't really own the films you own, and music you own. People don't really know that, but if you read the small print, you really don't own your entire music collection like you think you do, because iTunes can, if they really want to, or Apple, if they really want to, can take away everything you own or have bought on iTunes or through any of their, iTunes basically. They can take that away at a click of a finger. You got a physical copy, you could sell that, you can do what you want with it, you can keep it for a lifetime. Okay, so let's talk about sales. So with games, so physical copy versus digital copy. So sales on a, let's put it this way, you can have a sale on a marketplace, but you can also have a sale in the store. So really, there's not a huge difference for the bigger budget titles, because obviously in stores you can have it cheaper than you can online, and vice versa. So really there's not a huge difference there, because the suppliers versus the actual people who make the game or host it on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, they can decide when they have sales, and you can have pros and cons with both of those. One can be better than the other, and vice versa. Bit different with Steam. Steam, because it's PC and only caters for PC, let's put it, PC gaming is kind of, I don't know, is it good, is it bad? It's not good or bad, it's both. It's just the same with console gaming. Obviously the only difference being is it's generally all download only nowadays. I mean, you can buy the discs, but people don't really. I think most people, if they're PC gamers, use Steam because they are generally cheaper. I'll be quite honest, Steam is quite cheap. To be honest, even physical versions of PC games are cheap if you can find them anyway. So again, there's not a huge difference, but obviously we all know the famous Steam sale that they have once or twice a year, where games just literally dive in price. But again, it's just a sale that you could have in a store. Okay, you can't pick up games for 69p like you can on Steam, so obviously there is that. So if you're a budget gamer, you might want to, or gaming on a budget, not necessarily a budget gamer, you might want to stick to something like Steam and have your digital thing. But if you're using PlayStation or Microsoft, they generally don't go that cheap. You know, obviously games like Battlefield Hardline, I know at the moment it's in a sale, which is half price, £25. In a lot of stores they're about £40 or £50. So there is that, but like I said, in stores it will also drop in price at times, and they'll just constantly go like that. Okay, so put it this way. If you've got the physical copy and your internet connection goes down, you can still play that game. Now don't get me wrong, once you've downloaded your game anyway, if you were to download it digitally, then it's there anyway, obviously depending what game it is. And the same can be said with physical editions as well, because some games require the internet to work. But put it this way, if your internet's down and say for example the internet's not going to be back up for a couple of days, you could go to a shop and buy a game. You can't go online because you don't have access to it. I've obviously already talked about reselling games and trading in games. So for example, if you buy a game, finished it, a couple of weeks down the line, brand new game comes out, you go to the game store, you trade it in because you don't want it anymore. Okay, if you're a collector you'll keep the game, but if you're a person who just wants to play the game and trade it in, you've still got value to that game and you're trading it against something else. Okay, it's usually only half of what you've originally paid, but that's half. With the physical copy that you get half. With the digital copy, apparently they are planning on doing trade-ins. I don't know how the hell that works, but apparently that could happen at some point. But for now, you can't do anything about what you've bought digitally. Once you've got it, that's it, you've paid it, you've lost it. Or lost the value, I should say. So for example, if your mate gets a brand new console, and they don't have enough money to be able to buy a new game, for example, they can just be like, "Oi mate, can I borrow your game?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, yes you can," because it's a physical copy. If you've got a download, you can't do that. Okay, for example on PlayStation Network or PlayStation 4, you can share your games, you can do share play, but you're kind of limited in that to hour sessions where you get signed off after an hour. So really, it's not the same. It would take an absolute age to try and complete a game doing it that way. So physical wins in that debate. Just put it this way, if you've got a console that you've had for about 30 years, you've got a kid, and you want them to enjoy exactly what you've played, and I suppose the same could be said for digital and physical for this, because you could pass a game down physically, or I suppose they'd have to use your games console if it was digitally. So, yeah, okay, 1-1 there. My big problem with digital, and it's a bit of a problem personally, is the fact that a lot of indie games seem to be the ones that will be digital. So for example, games like, okay, they have eventually come out, but games like Terraria, and for some reason they've never released it, Far Cry Blood Dragon. Blood Dragon is digital only, and probably always will be. Now, that's annoying, because I absolutely love that game and I'd love to collect that game. I love the Far Cry series, I would just love to have that on the disc. And yeah, you can't do that. You now don't really have a sector of mid-value games. You either have indie or you have their AAA titles. The middle ground seems to be disappearing. So, okay, I suppose the thing there is those type of games, the mid-ground to indie, are online only. Not always, not in all cases, but quite often than not. And I don't like that. I personally think that all games should be available on discs, because the people who want to collect and really enjoy collecting and enjoy having the case there, the actual disc, to be able to pass on to anyone whenever they want, I think is great. Digitally, okay, if you like digital, that's fair enough, but I personally think you really aren't getting your money's worth because you literally don't have it in your hand, you cannot hold it. And I think a lot of gamers will agree with me there. So really, to end this debate, there's no real sort of clear winner. It's just personal preference. I think, yeah, like I said, personally, I prefer to have the physical disc. Yeah, okay, and I'm great with discs. They never scratch with me, but you do get people who just throw them around and think they're still going to work after they've been essentially stamped on. And obviously that's not going to happen. The main pro with digital is the fact that when you have things like Steam sales, and if you want a budget title and you're really not too worried about having a physical disc, then okay, it's great for that. And a Steam sale where you can pick up games for 69p, generally games you probably wouldn't even play, then that's great as well. So really, I haven't got an answer to that question, but have you? I'd obviously like to hear from all of you guys, all of my subscribers, and everyone who's watched this video. I'd like to know exactly what you guys think, because like I said, I'm still stuck in the mentality of a physical disc is better, apart from when it comes to things like Steam sales. So let's hear your views. Make sure you like, subscribe and share, and enjoy, most importantly enjoy, me on Games Re-Up, youtube.com/Games Re-Up, also on Facebook, same name, and also on Google+. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this debate with myself, even though I didn't really get a clear outcome there. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching, guys.